Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. In today's video, I'm going to be showing you guys how to scrape options from this site. Now, I was having a little bit of issues, so I went ahead and disabled this feature, which is enhanced tracking protection. I'm not sure if it's called the same thing in Google Chrome. Now from here, just navigate to the futures contract you want options for. So we have selected the E-mini S&P. Make sure this button is highlighted for the options, and we're going to take a look at the settlements. Now from here, I'm just going to right click and hit inspect. I'm going to go to network, and then I'm just going to click refresh. I'm going to go ahead and click pause. Now from here, we want to select the file that starts with OOF, and we can sort by file so we can find it faster. So it's OOF, and once you find it, just go ahead and click on that row. I'm going to minimize the response headers. If you have some trouble finding it, you can just click on the response, and here we see that we have options data if we open this up. So just make sure you highlight the link that has this as the response. Now from here, all I did was click on the headers and copied this URL and also the request headers. So you can just highlight this and copy this into the code, and I'll show you how to copy the request headers. But for now, just copy this, and we're going to take a look at the code. So in RStudio, we're going to go ahead and require these packages. Here's where you paste the URL that you just copied. Now for the cookie value, we extract that once we copy the request headers, and I'll show you how to do that. I guess we could do that from scratch. And I believe you only have to run this or get the cookie value once, but if it fails, you can go ahead and recopy it. And in this following block, you see that we have this get request. We're going to pass in this URL, and now we can go ahead and copy the request headers. So I'll do that from scratch. Go back to the page. We're going to right click on this link. We're going to hit copy value, copy request headers. We're going to go back to RStudio, and we're going to go ahead and place them here. Now for the cookie value, we're just going to highlight this whole thing. We're going to cut this out, and we're going to paste it in here in single quotes. Now let's go ahead and format those headers. So we're just going to start off with host. You don't really need this. Now for each of the headers, everything that's to the left of these colons, we're going to place in these back looking quotes. So just make sure you highlight everything and place them into those quotes. Now everything to the right must be in quotes. So let's go ahead and highlight that and change that. Now finally, we're just going to replace those colons with equal signs. Now we're going to go ahead and add the cookie value by placing this in the appropriate spot. Now from here, we're just going to add commas at the end of these. And once that's done, we can go ahead and add it to our headers. So we're going to cut this out, place it in headers. We're going to highlight this and indent. All right, so we're going to go ahead and run this and get the status code. If it prints 200, then it means we did it right. So we got a 200 status. It means it returned some data. Now we're going to read in the content from the page and row bind all of the option results. So if we go ahead and run this block here, we'll take a look at ops. Now we have all of our options. Now the last thing we need is to format these columns and turn them into numeric. So that's what this last block will do. And if we go ahead and run that, and we take a look at ops again, now we have returned these columns into numeric. So we can go ahead and sort by volumes or open interest. Now the thing that's missing is the expiration, what futures contract we're using, but most of that information is found in the URL. It's just a little bit hard to decode. So we see that the trade date would be this. We have the options expiration in this format. For the month year, it returned this value, which I'm not 100% sure how to decode that. Once we have those codes figured out, we can write a function since this site keeps settlement for various dates or trade dates. So if you go back to the page, we can highlight and change the trade date. So essentially we can go ahead and replace whatever values we have in our URL with these, as well as the expiration, which will need to get decoded. At least you'll have the starter that will get the information. You just have to play around with the page and see what codes it returns. But with that, guys, this concludes the video. I hope this was useful information. I'll leave a link down in the description area to my Patreon where you can find the script. Please consider subscribing to the channel if you haven't done so already. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.